Imagine a scene. It is dark, perhaps 3 in the morning. You are lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, and the house is perfectly quiet. But inside your head, there is a noise that never stops. It is a low, rhythmic thumping, like a heartbeat, but it isn't yours. It is the sound of a clock ticking, and with every tick, a tiny drop of your life energy leaks out of you. You check your phone. You open that banking app, the screen glowing blue in the darkness, illuminating the worry lines on your face. You see the numbers, red numbers, negative signs, balances that somehow, despite all your hard work, despite the overtime, despite the stress, never seem to go down. We are told that debt is a tool. We are told it is a ladder to climb, a way to access a life we haven't earned yet. But tonight, we are going to change the script. We are going to change the lighting and look at the monster in the room for what it actually is. You are not paying off debt. That is a passive administrative phrase. It sounds like you are filing paperwork. It sounds harmless. But the reality is visceral. The reality is biological. You are bleeding. You are walking through life with a deep open artery, and every single dollar you earn that goes toward interest is not a payment. It is blood loss. Let's visualize your paycheck. Picture it as a bag of blood, vital fluid meant to keep you alive, to nourish your dreams, to feed your family, to build your future. You work 40, 50, maybe 60 hours a week to fill that bag. You trade your time, which is the only truly non-renewable resource you have, to fill it. You endure the commute, the difficult boss, the physical exhaustion. You trade your life for that liquidity. Now, imagine you bring that bag home, but before you can use it to feed yourself, before you can use it to heat your home or invest in your freedom, a silent partner steps out of the shadows. This partner didn't work the hours. This partner didn't stress over the deadlines. This partner is the lender. And the lender has a siphon attached to your bag. Before you even touch a dime, the siphon activates. It drains 10%, 20%, 30% of your life force. This isn't money being moved around. This is your time, your sweat, and your stress being harvested by someone else. This is the concept we must internalize today. You are bleeding money. And until you treat this situation like a medical emergency, until you treat it like a trauma wound, you will never heal. You will simply grow weaker, paler, and more tired, wondering why you can never seem to get ahead while the siphon keeps drinking. Let's zoom in on the mechanics of this wound. Let's look at the mathematics of the bleed. We call it APR, annual percentage rate. It sounds like a benign acronym, something technical and boring. But in the screenplay of your life, APR is the villain's weapon. It is the serrated edge of the knife.
When you carry a balance on a credit card, you are not borrowing money. You are renting money at an exorbitant cost. Let's say you have a balance of $10,000. The bank tells you, with a smile, that you only need to pay the minimum. They make the minimum payment button bright green. They make it easy. They want you to click it. Why? Because the minimum payment is the trap. The minimum payment is the tourniquet that is tied just loosely enough to keep you alive, but tight enough to ensure the limb eventually dies. If you pay the minimum on that debt, you aren't paying it back. You are merely servicing the interest. You are paying rent on your own past mistakes. You are paying for the privilege of remaining in chains. The math is designed to keep you in that hallway forever. You pay $200 and $180 of it vanishes into the void of interest. Only $20 touches the principal. You are running on a treadmill that is set to a speed you cannot match, and the incline keeps rising. This is where the tragedy lies. It isn't just about the money. If it were just paper, it wouldn't matter. It is about what the money represents. Every dollar that leaves your account to pay interest is a thief of your future. It steals the vacation you promised your children. It steals the peace of mind you need to sleep at night. It steals the capital you could have used to start a business, to leave a legacy, to buy your freedom. Think about the psychology of the bleed. When a person is injured physically, the body goes into shock. It prioritizes survival. When you are financially bleeding, your mind goes into a similar state. You enter a state of scarcity. Your horizon shrinks. You stop planning 5 years out and start worrying about 5 days out. You stop dreaming of abundance and start praying for survival. This mental state is a prison. It lowers your IQ, it spikes your cortisol, and it ruins your health. The debt doesn't just take your money, it takes your bandwidth. It occupies the prime real estate in your mind, setting up camp and refusing to leave. We have to talk about the culture that handed you the knife. We live in a world that normalizes the bleed. Look at the commercials. Look at the billboards. They sell you a lifestyle that requires a transfusion. They tell you that you deserve the car, the clothes, the trip, the renovation. They tell you to buy now, pay later. But they never finish the sentence. It should be buy now, grieve later. Buy now, bleed later.
They have glamorized the wound. Driving a luxury car you cannot afford, financed at 8%, is not a status symbol. It is a rolling monument to your own financial hemorrhage. But because everyone else is bleeding too, because everyone else is walking around with siphons attached to their wallets, we think it is normal. We think it is just how life is. We compare our backstage bloopers to everyone else's highlight reels, not realizing that the neighbor with the brand new truck is drowning just as fast as you are. This normalization is dangerous because it acts as an anesthetic. It numbs you to the pain. You swipe the card and you don't feel the sting. The dopamine hit of the purchase masks the injury. It is only later, when the statement arrives, that the anesthesia wears off and the throbbing begins. But by then, the cycle has started again. You need another hit to numb the pain of the last one. It is an addiction, and the dealer is the bank. So how do we stop the bleeding? How do we stitch the wound? The first step is not mathematical. It is emotional. You have to get angry. You have to look at that statement, look at that interest charge, and feel a righteous indignation. You have to realize that you have been played. You have to decide that you are done being a host organism for a parasite. You have to decide that your labor belongs to you. Imagine you are the captain of a ship. You are in the middle of the ocean, and you realize the hull has been breached. Water is pouring in. The ship is heavy, sluggish, sinking. Do you continue to polish the brass on the deck? Do you worry about rearranging the deck chairs? No. You sound the alarm. You seal the bulkheads. You throw the unnecessary cargo overboard. This is what you must do with your life. You must declare a state of emergency. This means the lifestyle you have been living, the one that caused the bleed, must die so that you can live. You have to cut the expenses. You have to stop the spending. You have to perform surgery on your own budget. And yes, surgery is painful. It requires sacrifice. It means saying no to things you want today, so you can say yes to everything you need tomorrow. There are methods, tactical maneuvers for this battle. You have heard of the snowball method, where you attack the smallest debt with the ferocity of a wild animal, wiping it out to build momentum. You have heard of the avalanche method, where you attack the highest interest rate to stop the most severe bleeding first. It doesn't matter which weapon you choose, as long as you swing it. But let's go deeper than the method. Let's talk about the transformation. When you decide to stop bleeding, you change your identity. You stop being a consumer and you start being a builder. A consumer eats the seed corn, a builder plants it. When you are in debt, you are eating your own future. When you pay off debt, you are reclaiming your timeline. Imagine the day the bleeding stops. I want you to really see it. Picture the moment you submit that final payment. The screen doesn't show a balance anymore. It shows 0. 0 is a beautiful number. In this context, 0 means infinity. It means your possibilities are now endless. Suddenly, the paycheck comes in and the siphon is gone. The vampire has been exorcised from your house. You bring the bag of blood home and every drop stays with you. You look at that money and for the first time in years, you see potential. You see a savings account growing. You see investments compounding. Now, instead of interest working against you, a wind constantly blowing in your face, interest starts working for you. It becomes the wind at your back. This is the great reversal. This is the plot twist in your movie. The same force that once enslaved you, compound interest, now serves you. You move from the side of the equation that pays to the side of the equation that earns. This is the wealth transfer, and it is the only way to win the game. But the journey from the red to the black is a treacherous second act. You will be tempted to relapse. The world will try to hand you another knife. You've done so well, it will whisper. You deserve a reward. Just put it on the card. You can pay it off next month. Do not listen. That voice is the echo of your old self. That is the voice of the victim. You are the protagonist now. You know that the only reward for paying off debt is freedom, and you do not trade freedom for trinkets. You must guard your scar. You must remember the pain of the bleed so vividly that you never ever go back. Let's reframe the concept of payment. When you send extra money to your debt, you are not losing money. You are buying your freedom back. You are buying hours of your life back. If you have a debt of $1,000 at 20% interest and you pay it off, you have just guaranteed yourself a 20% return on your money. There is no stock market in the world, no crypto scheme, no real estate deal that guarantees you a 20% risk-free return immediately. Paying off debt is the best investment you will ever make because it stops the leak, it patches the hole. Think of the legacy. If you continue to bleed, you teach your children to bleed. You pass down the habits of debt, the normalization of payments, the stress of living paycheck to paycheck. You inherit the wind and you pass it on. But if you stop the bleeding, if you heal the wound, you change the genetic destiny of your family tree. You show them that money is a tool for sovereignty, not a chain of submission. We are nearing the end of our time, but this is just the beginning of your scene. The screen is fading to black on your old life. The credits are rolling on the version of you that accepted the bleed. The lights are coming up on a new set.
In this new scene, you are powerful. You walk into a room and you owe no man anything. You look your boss in the eye and you know you are there because you choose to be, not because the bank demands it. You sleep deeply. The rhythmic thumping of the clock no longer a countdown to doom, but a steady beat of progress. This is not a fantasy. This is a choice. It is a choice you make every time you reach for your wallet. It is a choice you make every time you look at a price tag. You ask yourself, is this worth bleeding for? Is this plastic object worth a drop of my life? The answer, almost always, is no. So look at your hands, look at your life, find the leaks, find the siphons, and one by one, tear them out. Cauterize the wounds. It will hurt, it will be scary. The withdrawal from the drug of easy credit will shake you. But on the other side of that pain is a life of such vibrant, high-definition color that you will wonder how you ever lived in the gray fog of debt. You are the writer, the director, and the star of this story. The pen is in your hand, the debt is the antagonist, and it has had enough screen time. It is time to write it out of the script. It is time to kill the monster. It is time to stop bleeding and start living. The scene ends with you standing tall, the chains broken at your feet, the sun rising on a horizon that finally, truly belongs to you. The silence in your head is beautiful. It is the silence of peace. It is the silence of solvency. Now, take a breath. Feel the air filling your lungs. That is yours. No one charges interest on that. Now go and make sure the money in your pocket is yours too. The script is yours to finish. Action.